I'm gonna skip the usual intro because we are just like this meme is saying, straight up not having a good time, right? The Trump stock market sell-off has been extremely steep. It's down 17% in the past like 42 days, and when the market opens, it's going to be down over 20%. Right? So when you take a look at my previous videos, I was talking about how to make millions in the Trump stock market crash, right? And obviously it feels like the end of the world right now. I can tell you, even I am feeling it. A stock that I'm holding now, Alibaba, is down 14%. In one day, you know how much time it took for Alibaba to put up this kind of gains? So another stock that I just posted about, 25th of March, HIMS, I was buying somewhere around here. I started buying somewhere around here. So in the matter of a week or 2 weeks, now it's at what, $23 when it opens. Obviously this says $26, but in after markets trading is at $26 now. So obviously, yeah, I am feeling the stress, the panic, just like you guys, right? But obviously I was a bit more well prepared than anyone that was fully deployed, right? Because I still have cash to deploy and I'm still buying some, right? So in this video, I'm going to be talking about some strategies to employ in this bear market, as well as some things to help you manage your stress, right? If you're completely tapped out and you cannot add any money and you don't have an income, right? Sorry to say, I cannot really help you. All you can do is just sit and wait, right? And see whether there's any names in your portfolio that have tariff involvement. Let's say their business will be heavily hurt by tariffs, then maybe those businesses you need to research and see what you can do with those businesses, right? Me personally, I don't have anything that is involved too much with tariffs. So you can see actually Alibaba does most of their trading in mainland China, and also JD.com does most of their business in mainland China. So I didn't actually expect all these stocks to get hit so hard, right? But obviously we can see that it's been an indiscriminate sell-off, right? Because even a stock like HIMS is down like I think from here it's like 33%. And this is a stock that only does business in the US. So how does that make any sense? But obviously we are entering a market where everything is just getting sold off, right? So don't think like, oh, I bought something, it's getting sold off, means I made the wrong choice. So that's the first thing to realize, right? Keep revisiting the fundamentals, right? Because since I bought here, HIMS was trading at 3 times forward sales, and now it's trading at 2 times forward sales, right? So it's been a very, very, very big sell-off, and in a very short amount of time, right? But if you have money and you're getting income, just dollar cost average, right? Because dollar cost averaging gives you something that I think is very, very important to humans, right? Which is a sense of progress, right? And I think this stock's getting destroyed. That's why it's so painful to people as well, right? That represents maybe like years of savings, or like few years of or few months of savings just evaporated in like one weekend, right? So I think that's the reason why people are quite panicked about all these moves. But you have to realize when you have sharp downdrafts like this, it will also be a sharp updraft, right? If you see something like this, okay, 22 days is sold off 10%, and then just within about the same period is back to all-time highs, right? But obviously, I'm not thinking that this market will just rally back to all-time high. Okay, we're going to be at 7,000 points by the end of the year. That's not what I'm expecting from this market, right? Because the tariffs and all these things actually affect businesses, right? So the fundamentals have actually deteriorated. But is it as much as a 25% or something sell-off in a matter of few days? In the case of HIMS, it was already down from what, $72 to $35, $36 when I started buying. So it's a 50% down. It bounced to 38, and now it's another almost 40% down, right? So does that warrant this kind of moves? That's the kind of questions we have to be asking ourselves, right? So psychologically, I think it's just a good time to take a walk, right? There's nothing else I can say other than that, right? Because when you're losing so much money, right, if you keep checking the charts and all that, you'll just be more stressed, right? And you feel like you need to do something, especially the people who are tapped out, they have no cash. They feel like they need to do something, right? So let's say your portfolio is like 50,000 and every day you just add in like 10 ringgit. So 10 times 30. So that's actually not that much, right? It's just 300 ringgit a month. But at least you feel some sort of progress, right? But then if you can't do anything, the worst thing that you can do is just continue to stare at the charts and hope that tomorrow is gonna like come back or something like that, right? Then the second thing you have to do is revisit the fundamentals, right? Ask yourself why you bought a certain stock, and for a certain reason, right? Because if you take a look at something that was in my portfolio but is no longer in my portfolio, this is actually CK Hutchison, right? You can see that I bought somewhere actually just at the top, right? I bought around $51, $52. But that was because I valued the deal to go through for their ports and all of that for $19 billion, right? And in recent days, actually, I just sold the stock this morning. So actually, I took quite some time. I was quite late because I already knew about the news that they were selling. Maybe they have trouble selling the ports here because China came out and say something, and then national security concern. So I don't really want to be involved in a stock where the government dictates the future of the stock, even though the government does sort of dictate somewhat of a future. But in this case, it's just like, okay, if I don't let them sell the ports, quite frankly, if they don't let them sell the ports, then the value of the business becomes more murky to me, right? So I'm not so sure about that. That's why even though I'm sitting at a 20% loss, I just decided to sell it. And I'm quite glad I didn't make it too big of a position, right? So lastly, I did promise an update on the Moomoo portfolio. And you can see, obviously it's not doing so hot, right? Because I just started buying in like early March. Let me just check the order history. You can see that I was buying in early March and maybe late February. And then obviously when April and the stock markets are down like 20-25% on the Nasdaq. So obviously some of the stocks are hit quite hard as well, right? So within the names, I'm not too worried about most of the companies. You can see Amazon, okay, I'm not worried about this. Celsius, I'm not worried about this because all their balance sheets are actually impeccable, right? So unless they start losing a huge amount of money, they cannot go bankrupt, right? You can see Fubo, this one is in a deal with Disney, so this is considered a special situation. Google, I'm not concerned Google is going bankrupt. So HIMS, I'm also not concerned they're going bankrupt. But HIMS, one concern is the valuation compression has been very, very big, right? So will it go to one-time sales? Because I would think that HIMS is less of a big moat company like Google or Amazon, and they are fairly new, right? So is this recession going to crush them? I'm really not sure about that, right? And Interactive Brokers are not too worried about them because I use their brokerage service, right? JD.com, not too worried. Shopify, not worried at all. This one, maybe I'm a bit worried because their balance sheet is a bit weak, right? So maybe I'll have to see whether I'm going to sell this position off and redistribute the funds or not. So you can see currently the total assets before the market opens is at $10,293, $700 less than I put in because I put $11,000 in this portfolio, right? Because from the 1st of March, I put in total 10,000, and then every month after that, I'm going to add $1,000, right? So if I'm adding $1,000 every month, I'm not stressed about it, right? So why should I be stressed that the stock market is going down? In fact, this is a good opportunity for me to add in more money to accumulate more and more shares at a lower price at a better value, right? If I tell you that Amazon is trading at 30 times earnings or Amazon is trading at 15 times earnings, which one will you pick? So obviously you'll pick the 15 times earnings, right? So this was a quick short update on the Moomoo portfolio because I did promise to do that video, but I've been so busy, and with the market crashing, I also have to do a lot of research and spend a lot of time like trying to keep myself calm and all of that, right? So yeah, that's about all I wanted to share today. I hope you guys found some value, right? And obviously I'm here with you guys suffering through this market crash, but please don't do anything like irrational, right? Like start buying options or start like maxing out our margin because you think, oh, this is a market bottom. We can still go a lot further down, right? No one knows where the real bottom is, and if anyone is honest with you, that's what they will tell you, right? I don't know where the bottom is, but I still have cash, I'm still buying, and I think that things will get better rather than continuously get worse, right? I don't believe that we are heading into a Great Depression scenario. Can we have a recession? Yeah, it's possible. So that's all for today. Obviously, invest safe.